Hey guys, it's Quickly again with another ROM review, and this time I've got the FreedomOS version 1.5 based on the OxygenOS 3.5 Community Edition for the OnePlus 3, so stay tuned for that. So OnePlus dropped the bomb with the Community Edition for the OnePlus X and the OnePlus 3. The OnePlus X as the Marshmallow Community Edition, which is long due for an out season. This one though is again a Marshmallow release ROM with August patches. That is to say that it has the patches for August from Google, so that is really cool to have. And well, being a basic OxygenOS ROM, you are going to get all the benefits of having a stock based ROM. So let's get started now. First of all, what you would see here is the launcher from Oxygen. So you do have a bit of customization available here, which is basically the same stuff which you would expect out of other ROMs. It does have the Riften icon pack, which is pretty amazing. You can also change the icon sizes. You can enable shelf, and I will get to shelves in a bit time because it is a bit changed in normal usage. So yeah, let's get started now. First of all, in the settings menu, you can see in the about phone page it is OnePlus 3. The model number is the OnePlus 3 A3003, and the OxygenOS version is, as you can see, 3.5. that is the Community Edition. RAM is 6 gigs. All of these are pretty nice features to see. Android security patches is August 1st, so that is the main change I personally look forward to in the OxygenOS releases, so that is pretty nice to see. This, I am using the stock kernel. Now this being the FreedomOS ROM, this does come with the Elemental X kernel from in the Aroma installer, so that is really nice to see and all that, but for this review purpose I will be using the stock kernel. Now in terms of settings and all that, there isn't many. I mean, okay, the OxygenOS is not a very feature rich ROM, but it does have enough features to keep you interested. This is about the same as what you would expect out of any other OxygenOS ROM. So first of all, alert slider is available, so you do have 3 options, and alert slider is working, so you don't have to do too much about that. Buttons, now the buttons are here, and you can actually customize the home button, recent button and back button for the double tap options available in there, so that is really nice to see. That is a feature available. You can also enable the on-screen button like in the OxygenOS, so that is really nice. Always enable home button in case you are using the navigation bar, also pretty nice to see. Press power button twice when the screen is off. For camera is a really nice feature and quick way to use the camera. Now in the gesture option, you do have double tap to wake, that is amazing to see. Open camera with an O, toggle flashlight, music controls with a arrow, flip to mute, that is something which I really appreciate. I used to use this feature every time on my Z3, and this is a really cool feature. 3-finger screenshot, that is also available, where you can take a screenshot and you can also edit stuff from here, so that's really nice. Pocket mode is really amazing, and recently I learned that the CyanogenMod ROMs does not have a true pocket mode where the fingerprint scanner is also off. So that might be a reason for people to switch to stay on the OxygenOS, which I'm realizing right now, but still many people are not bothered by it a lot. In the display option, you do have adaptive brightness, which you can enable. I don't have to enable that for this video purposes. Color balance slider is still available. This is the same color balance slider which you will see in the other ROMs like HydrogenOS, which was there, and you can actually keep it from colder to warm and also reset it. So that is really nice to see. The themes are available where you can select light theme or dark theme. I have the default theme, that is the light theme. Selecting the light theme changes everything to light, so you do have that, so that is really nice to see. Also you have option of a dark theme also if you want a bit more battery saving with that, because it is an AMOLED display and you will be getting much more stuff with that. So yeah, here is the dark theme, which is not the pure dark which we saw in the OxygenOS ROM, but this is more what you found in the HydrogenOS. So now font size can be customized in here, where I personally would select small because I like more real estate. Auto rotate screen, ambient display is available, and proximity wake is available, so that is available and it works. Pulse notification light is something which is available, and you can enable or disable that. Now the sound option, you do have the normal sound options, and it works really good. You do have that. There are a few options here which you can disable the sounds for, something like touch sounds, dial pad sounds, screen locking sounds, and all that can be customized or disabled, so that's pretty nice. Now notification, in the notification option you can customize what all application can use the notification drawer, so you do have that. It's nothing special, it's also available in the other Android ROMs. Now the battery life was a pretty strong point in my opinion. I mean, sure, it's about as same as what you would expect out of an OxygenOS ROM, so not much of a difference from there, but I personally feel OxygenOS ROMs have a very good battery life rather than a CyanogenMod ROM or an AOSP based ROM. So yeah, this is a pretty good battery giving daily driver. Other than that, something which I really appreciate is in the storage and memory, you do have an OTG slider on here, and you don't have to go into a 3-dot menu and enable that. Most people do miss that out, so that is really nice to see. Storage and USB, you can actually customize and explore stuff from your file managers. That's also available. Memory can be customized or looked at from here. Now in the security and fingerprint option, I did notice that the screen lock pin, which I have selected right now, it only accepts 4-digit pin. I personally keep a 7 to 8 digit pin for my device. I'm not entirely sure why that is a limitation. I would like to have that renewed or reconsidered, because some people do like to have more than 4 digit in their pin code. So yeah, fingerprint works flawlessly. I don't really have any issues with that. Everything else is basically the same as what you would expect in an OxygenOS ROM. In the advanced options, you do have a few options here where you can actually join the user enjoy plan, which basically schedules and sends reports of your usage data, so you can actually disable that if you want to. Now, the schedule power on off option is a feature which I saw in the HydrogenOS ROMs also, so you can actually enable or disable the times at which the phone powers off and powers on, so that you can have no disturbances at these times. So that is really nice to see. Accessibility options are what you would expect out of any other ROM, so nothing special here. In the developer option, you do have all of the stuff which you would expect out of any other ROM. So you do have advanced reboot option, so that is really nice to see. And there is no sRGB mode which I am aware of, and that is kind of a bummer, because OxygenOS, I guess, was supposed to have sRGB mode, which I personally liked a lot. So yeah, nothing special there. The shelf is kind of different in this time, because it's transparent. The background is transparent right now, and it kind of is a different plane, and I like the aesthetics of this one a lot better than what it was on the OxygenOS. It's kind of like what I saw in the HydrogenOS, which is okay, it's a touch and hold stuff, so a little bit different. In the applications, it does come with a few applications of its own, like the clock application. It's a different one. You do have a few stuff here. All of these are themed. Most of these things are themed, so that is something which you may have to look into. So yeah, if you haven't noticed before, I have been using this as my daily driver for some time now, and it has held up pretty well. I really appreciate the better camera quality. Is definitely something which I desire over the CyanogenMod ROMs. The camera is noticeably better in a lot of areas, and I really like that. As you can see, the grains are still there, but still noticeably much better than the CyanogenMod ROMs and all that. Now the recent menu has seen a bit of changes. There isn't a clear background button, which I really appreciated. I really like that one, but well, with different things there are different stuff which you need to take care of. So yeah, there is a clear all button for those who wants to clear everything. Everything works, everything major works, like Bluetooth works, NFC works. I am using this with my headphone, and it is working. Now on the notification drawer has seen a bit of changes where everything is rearranged in one way or the other. There is a customizer over here where you can have about 9 tiles here, and you can customize whatever appears in the 9 tiles. So you can have a VPN button, lock button, hotspot if you don't want cast, which I personally do not want, I can change it with hotspot, and that works pretty well. So here is the benchmark score which I received with this ROM, and that is pretty surprising, because now the ROM is kind of a mix between the Oxygen OS and Hydrogen OS, but the performance is more towards the Oxygen OS rather than the Hydrogen OS. The Hydrogen OS does not really get a lot of scores with the Antutu benchmark, but this one is about 144,000, and that is pretty good. Now with the Freedom ROM which I have right now, a lot of things are deblotted. There is a lot of Chinese applications in the official release of the 3.5 community edition, and those are all removed in this one, and I really appreciate that. That is really good to see. Now there are a few issues with the community edition of this ROM, which is basically 3.5. so a few of those issues are still creeping up in this ROM. First of all, the system UI tuner which you get by long pressing on this, it doesn't work, so don't try to do that. In the advanced option accessibility, there can be issues whenever you are trying to use the accessibility settings. It can force close on you. There are a few UI issues where system UI will reboot randomly. I have had that once. I'm not entirely sure if it's a one-time thing, but it happens. Now playing games, I was playing this game, which is Skyforce Reloaded. There were a few hiccups with the gameplay and the frame rates, which I did not experience in other ROMs like Oxygen OS or CyanogenMod ROM. So yeah, there is something like that. The speaker audio is kind of distorted. At high volumes it is distorted. Even with the FreedomOS, the changelog, it was said that the 3.5 problem was fixed in this, but it is still quite distorted in that. So if you're someone who uses speaker volume to listen to music, kind of bad there. Also, using the DPI setting other than 480, everything gets bogged up. I mean, all the notification stuff, all the quick settings moved to one side. I was using it as in 400 DPI setting, but it didn't work out, so I had to change it back to 480, reflash the ROM. So yeah, just so you guys know. So yeah, I think that should cover up the community edition right now, because this is a beta ROM from OnePlus 3, so that is something which you need to take away from this. It's for those who want to try out the new advancements which are coming, and the August security patches are definitely something which I really like, so that is also really nice to see. And it is kind of supported by OnePlus, so it gives you more confidence in using this ROM, and that is pretty much it. So yeah, I guess that much is it about the ROM. Hope you guys like the video. Please share, subscribe, and like the video if you found it useful. See you guys next time. Bye.